I caught my ex-wife cheating on me when I tried to surprise her. It was Labor Day weekend in 2021, my, then, wife was in Texas for Air Force training, we were living in Ohio at the time. During her training, she would call the kids, 7 and 3 at the time, and me every day and stay on the phone for a long time talking about anything and everything. Then suddenly she started talking less and less, still daily, but only 2 minutes if that. She would say that she had to study for tests, then she started missing days completely. After the third time, I called her later and asked what was going on. She was utterly wasted, extremely drunk on the phone. I got mad and hung up. The next day, she says she needs space, like I'm the bad guy here. We barely talked for 2 weeks after that. To backtrack a bit, we married when I was 25, she was 23, dating for 4 years before that. When we were dating, she went to visit her friend in CA. Her friend married a Marine and moved there. Well, during that time, she was also going to meet a guy she had never met. Someone her friend wanted to set her up with. So for the entire 2 weeks, she was cheating on me. So we broke up for about a year. I connected back with her again, and we got back together. About 2 years later, I got married. During our marriage, she completely changed. She denied me intimacy and affection. When she rejected me, I would naturally get upset. I would say mean things to remind her of what she did because I knew it would hurt her. Fast forward, we had 2 children. Our marriage went on with hardly any intimacy or affection from her. I would ask her to kiss me. After our second child, we were pretty much roommates. I was extremely depressed, and it was difficult to get out of bed and do anything. I realized I wasn't the father I wanted to be, not the husband, and sought emotional health. So back to the time after we started to stop talking after our argument. I thought the spark had been missing in our relationship, and I blamed myself for my depression and anxiety. So I got a babysitter for the long weekend. She had mentioned that she wanted to get away and go camping by herself. So I took it as an opportunity to surprise her so we could spend the weekend alone, just trying to get our love back to what it was, before marriage. I went to her hotel on base and talked to the hotel staff beforehand to let them know I wanted to surprise her. They were okay with it. After I showed proof of who I was, I got an extra keycard, went into her room before she returned from training, and was going to surprise her when she came in. When I got into her room, I saw a large box of condoms on her nightstand, many empty alcohol bottles in the trash, and her counters. I also saw her wedding ring in her bathroom on the counter as if the ring was stored there. I was devastated and in shock at what I saw. I hid in the closet, and when she arrived, I jumped out and said surprise. I just was still in disbelief that this was happening. Her response was, "You're not supposed to be here." Then she locked herself in the bathroom. She texted a school friend, a girl, to come. The friend rushed to her room as if it seemed like I was hurting her. To be clear, I had never raised a hand or even got close to it. Her friend left, and she came out of the bathroom. I demanded an explanation. All she could say was, "I'm sorry." It wasn't in an apologetic way, more of an "I'm sorry you had to find out this way." I left immediately, took a car to the airport, and bought the first ticket home. I could only do the bare minimum for my kids the entire weekend because I was crushed. Monday rolled around, I called, and she said she wanted a divorce. I was just in disbelief and agreed without a discussion. The only thing I could manage to get out was, "I'm taking the kids and moving back home." I was medically retiring from the military before she would return from training. Her response was, "Okay, can you take the dogs too?" After we split and I moved back, I did some digging. I checked our bank account and saw thousands of dollars at bars and other places being spent by her during the time she was in training while telling us she was studying. I also checked the phone records. I couldn't see the messages, but I could see one number that kept coming up all day, every day, back and forth. That ended up being the guy she was cheating on me with. No surprise, we finalized our divorce in February of this year without fighting. Since then, she has skipped her time with her kids twice to go on mini vacations with this guy. He lives in D.C., 7 hours away from her. We live in Mo, 6 hours from her. In our divorce agreement, she can come to see the kids whenever she wants during the week if she clears it with me first. She just did that for the first time 2 weeks ago, since February. That is the only time she has done that. When she calls the kids, and they see she is in a car or at a place they don't recognize, they ask her where she is. She admits she is with her new BF. She drives or flies to see him instead of the kids. Last Thursday, she called me and said she messed up, missed the kids and me, and wanted to get back together. I tell her that she has to agree to go through her therapy and marriage counseling. It sounded like things were going to get better. 2 days later, she sent me a message telling me that she wasn't going to do any of that. This guy makes her so happy, and she is now engaged to this guy. My life was crushed again. The entire year I have constantly been crying and lying in bed. Thank Jesus for my family because I couldn't do this without them. I just feel so worthless. I can't connect with anyone I try and date because I am numb now and have commitment issues. I can't find a job, and I bought a house that I now have tapped into my savings to start paying for. I constantly have morbid thoughts of being better off dead. Then I hate myself more for thinking that because I have 2 amazing kids to care for. I feel like nothing can go right, and I'm going to lose my kids, my house, and eventually myself. I have been talking to a therapist, but IDK if I feel any different. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm not sure what I'm looking for here, but I thought maybe if I got my story out there, it would have some kind of relief. I think your main problem is that you have not accepted that it is over and have kept that door open. Dude, you need to put an end to this mess, and you also need to protect your kids from her. Dude, no mother is better than a mother like that. She abandoned her kids for a guy. And this text of missing you and the kids is only because the other guy did something. The kid's mom is no better because she abandoned her kids for a guy, and this text of missing you and the kids is only because the other guy did something. Dude, you need to take control of your life. Go talk to a lawyer, clean your house, take a shower, prepare good healthy meals for you and your kids, go to the gym and try to get some order in your life. This is the real answer here. Yes, the ex was a piece of work, but OP casually walked in his own execution. Lots of red flags, carpet sweeping, and even great preview of what would be. You have a great life, you just can't see it now. Be a great father and lean on your family. 180 to your wife. It won't take you long to determine the depth of her sincerity. If she is sincere, she has to do a lot to get you to listen to her. If she can't stop drinking, then you should consider her a danger to the children. Mothers of children do not usually avoid them when it is possible to see them. Hi friend, I caught my son's mother sending hot pics to his first cousin for 3 years in a row. She is also known to be doing that for money. We have a 6-year-old boy who is awesome. I want you to know this happened to me recently, and these type of women can never find happiness. No matter how much you have to offer, it's never enough, and it won't be even with the new guy. You sound like a decent person. You need to relax and be patient. Love and good love will find you, even if it takes time. I have yet to find someone. However, buddy, once you move on, raising your kids, building yourself up, one day karma will come to him. The guy you are with probably knows you are using him and treating him bad, and that's why you are with him. Keep your head up, buddy. You can do 10,000 times better. This woman is not the person you think she is. You do love her. But she can never be the person you want her to be. She will not become sexual with you and become the mother and wife you want. You can't change her. You have to change yourself. You have to be a good role model and a good parent. You have to work on yourself. Start going to the gym. You want to cry banging on a heavy bag. Take the kids, pack a snack and go on a hike. Pitch a tent and go camping. You need to educate yourself. Read No More Mr. Nice Guy by Dr. Robert Glover. This will help you have boundaries in all your relationships. Family, co-workers, exes. Read it until you memorize it and do the exercises in it. Keep all records and be sure to save all texts, emails, etc. of lost time. You have to do family therapy without your ex. You have to get your kids to deal with abandonment therapy now. Or else they will have unhealthy relationships in the future. Be strong for your children. You are the only stable parent they have now. They trust you. Don't keep looking back. Look forward, and there is certainly a light at the end of a dark tunnel. You can come out of this stronger. I believe in you, OP. I am so sorry you are going through this. And your kids too, they are going to need a lot of therapy for this. This will scar their relationship with both you and their mother for life. They will remember the one who stayed and the one who was selfish and abandoned them. Do not contemplate taking this woman back. She has shown you how manipulative she can be. The best thing you can do is not talk to her unless it is absolutely necessary to talk about the children. The more distance you put between you and her, the faster you will get over this. Give yourself the best possible chance to have a new healthy life and go to independent therapy. I'd like to tell you this is going to be easy, but it's not. I thought I would be doing well, then I didn't. Grief is not linear, so be patient with yourself. But 4 years later, and I'm going to be honest, the divorce was the best thing that ever happened to me. The cheating made me fight for my courage like I never had before. I am now married to the sweetest man who has never made me doubt that he loved me. I know you are far from that, but there is so much hope for your future. Don't ever feel like all hope is lost.